Princess Suryaprabha, who was very beautiful and intelligent, wanted to marry a man who was even more intelligent and learned than her. She was not too concerned about wealth or looks, so she said to her father, "I have decided. Let any man ask me 9 questions. If I am unable to answer even one of them, I will marry him." The king knew well how bright she was and was worried.
"And what if you answer all the questions?"
The king asked Suryaprabha. Suryaprabha replied, "Then he will be rejected and will not get a second chance." The king had no choice but to agree to her condition, and so he made the announcement in the kingdom. Many people arrived to try their luck, but the princess was too clever for them, and she answered each one's questions in no time. The king became more and more worried. He decided to talk to his most trusted friend, Ganpati Maharaj, who was a teacher. Ganpati heard him out, then said he would send his brightest student, Shashi Shekhar, to question the princess. The next day, a handsome young man appeared in court. He was dressed simply, but his eyes shone bright with the light of knowledge. He announced that he had 9 questions for the princess, and in no time was sitting before her.
"How many stars are there in the sky?"
was his first question. Suryaprabha replied, "There are as many stars as there are hairs on a goat."
"Which is the most beautiful child on earth?"
"For every mother, her child is the most beautiful," replied Suryaprabha. Shashi Shekhar asked the 3rd question.
"What is the difference between truth and lies?"
"It is the difference between our eyes and ears. Our eyes will always see the truth, but our ears can hear both truth and lies." Shashi Shekhar threw the 4th question.
"Which person has hands yet is considered handless?"
"A rich man who does not share his wealth is considered handless," responded Suryaprabha.
"Who has eyes but is still blind?"
"A man without compassion who does not see the suffering that exists in this world." Then Shashi Shekhar showed her a picture of a crumbling palace and asked what it meant. By now, the princess was sure this was no ordinary man, but it did not take her long to give her answer. She replied, "A house without a proper foundation, even if it is a palace, will collapse." Shashi Shekhar showed her another picture of an old lady collecting firewood while carrying a heavy load on her back. The princess smiled and replied, "This picture depicts human greed. The woman has collected so much wood, yet she does not want to give up and go home." Now the princess had answered 7 questions accurately. There were only 2 left. Shashi Shekhar then asked a very clever question.
"Princess, which is the question you can't answer?"
Suryaprabha was stumped. If she told him, Shashi Shekhar would ask that question as the last one. And if she did not, she would lose anyway. She smiled and bowed her head and said, "I accept my defeat. You're very intelligent and I would love to marry you." Thus, it came to be that the 2 wisest people in the kingdom got married and lived happily. So friends, this story tells us to believe in the intelligence of a person more than his or her looks and wealth. And I hope that you have enjoyed this story immensely. I will come up with a new story next Friday. Till then, you please take care. Jai Hind!